Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Refugee. So, as you know, it's always a pleasure to be here. I want to say a big thank you for the outpour of love, the follows, the like, the subscription on my social media platforms, and YouTube especially. Thanks a lot. Today, I want to talk about key things to actually bring to Canada, like very important things to pack when you're coming to Canada, because Canada is like, we know that the culture is different, the way of life is different, the food is different, the clothes is different, the complexions are different, like everything is different, right? So you want to make plans for things that you actually do on a day-to-day, and things that you love to do that you love to have around you, that you love to that you can't do without. Yeah, let me say that. So let's get into it. Key things to come with the Canada. I'll start from the three basic things, like three basic needs. Okay, two, right? Because you can't bring house into Canada. I start from two basic things: clothing and food. So, talking about clothing, you have to know the season you're actually coming to Canada and plan alongside with that. You can bring your traditional outfits, you can bring your suits, some of them. Now, the rest of the, not everything, right? Maybe a piece each for the few times you go to church, then you send the others through Chicago. Others can come in through Chicago much later, but you don't want to be looking like what you don't understand because you newly migrated, right? Why should I look like you know, my very first Thanksgiving in Canada, I just ping. So please take maybe that beautiful outfit, one or two, and put it in your bag, and your day-to-day outfit. A joggers is very important. Joggers is very important to Canada, and jeans. Bring them. You can bring one or two jeans, but joggers for me, it's always the way to go because it helps with the cold weather. It doesn't sink in cold. So bring whatever suits you, what works for you. Just one or two here and then, not so much of cool things in your 23 kg, because you might want to utilize it to take food that will last you for the period of time that your Chicago will come. So what I did in my case was we used our person's 23 kg for clothes and the other one for food. So we brought what we're going to use for that period of time till our Chicago arrived. We sent every other clothes, shoes, food through that were not perishable through Chicago. Every other thing that we knew that Chicago might not take, that we would take along, we took it along with us in our own 23 kg, right? So clothing, get a good winter jacket. You might not want to put that in your 23 kg. You might just want to tie it around your waist because the plane might be cold, and arriving in Canada it might be cold. I don't know, depending on where you actually arrive. So if you are arriving during winter, you might want to get a fairly good winter jacket from your a very thick one from your home country, and then when you come here you can invest in a good jacket that would help you with the degree of the cold weather here in Canada. So yeah, if you can get a boat, and all your loved items, pack them. Not like you should not bring all your clothes here, because of course when you get here you also want to switch styles, you see other things you would like to buy. But I mean, key things I feel like, oh, you really cherish them, like key clothes that you think you really cherish them, bring them along with you. If you have kids, please bring lots of inners for them, singlets, underpants, and sweaters, so they can also get their own jackets here as well. So that is that for clothing. Yeah, bring your makeup. Bring your makeup because before you get your shade here, it might be very hard. I brought all my makeup. I literally bought an entire new set, and I brought them with me. And that's what I've been using, and they are pretty good. I bought one that the expiry date was really far, and they are really good. I've never shopped for makeup in Canada so far. So good clothing for yourself. If you're coming during summer, bring nice clothing because during summer people invite, there are several hangouts. Bring nice clothing that you'll be able to, feel yourself in it, right? So the next one, food. Food is very important. That's why I said we use one bag, 23 kg bag for food, one for clothes, everybody like that. And the other was just, things here and there that we use, like body cream and stuff like that. So food, all your local food that you used to eat: poundo yam, semo, elubo, yam flour, cassava flour. I brought gari. I brought ofada rice. I brought crayfish, I brought ogbono, I brought egusi, I brought beans powder, just in case. I brought zobo leaf. I brought all dried, like I even brought dry ewedu, but it didn't work. But I eventually got an ewedu that works just fine here, Molokia, that we usually buy here, and it's just maybe $1 or $2, and I can use it for like twice, which makes absolute, it draws, it's fantastic. So bringing dry ewedu was enough for me, but dry oha, dry afang, dry um every other thing dry that can stay longer. Now, I'm not saying you cannot bring fresh. If you want to bring anything fresh, this is what you can do. Like if you're traveling tomorrow and you want to bring in fresh ugu or fresh oha, you just have to, cut it nicely, like chop, right? Just remove the sticks because of the weight, and then fold it nicely in you can fold it nicely in newspapers and arrange them neatly and put them inside a Ziploc bag. So what I also did was those kind of things, and now put them close to the frozen stuffs I traveled with. Do you know you can actually travel with frozen stuff? Like my daughter, she was still 2 years old when we traveled, so our pap was frozen, it's been in the freezer. So all the fresh things that I knew that okay, I don't want them to, maybe due to eat. Although the plane is actually not hot, but I just put it in the middle, like just to have that coolness around it, right? And used a cloth to wrap them all together. So like all the or oha leaves that you still want fresh that you can use for maybe like a month before you get before you stabilize and start sourcing for those things again. But most likely you might not be able to get for all those fresh ones. But maybe because for just the sake of having the freshness still, you can bring them fresh, and then the others bring them dry. Um I think ugu, there is really no need for ugu, but you can bring a little, because the kale here just does the same thing as ugu. Is fantastic, just the same consistency and turgidity, and it's really really cooks well. And also spinach also suffices, like gure, like water leaf that we used to cook. So but the others like the afang leaf and all that, you can grind it and bring it. My friend brought it because the flight is just for like a day. It wasn't going to go bad, and just toss it in your freezer. Even your Airbnb, they will have a fridge where you can keep all those things, and just ensure that they are safe. So um don't bring rice, do not bring rice. Well, you can bring maybe a cup or two cups. That can maybe, like when I arrived, I brought a cup or two, because when we landed, we're in Airbnb, my friend, we just thought that, oh, what can we cook? Oh, we had tin tomato, we had ground pepper. We just mixed everything together and made something to eat, right? Because sometimes you don't have the energy to just go out again from your Airbnb. You just want to make something quickly. Bring sardine in your load. Bring maybe a loaf of bread. Just toss it there, because just in case. So you can bring a little of everything in your carry-on, but avoid liquids in your carry-on. So little and avoid perfumes, avoid anything liquid, toothpaste. Don't put them in your carry-on, put them in your check-in bag. But you can actually put dry food items in your carry-on, right? So we actually had that one for emergency, for quickly, putting something together. Ground pepper, atagigun, bring a lot of it. I still have one that can last me for the next 2 years, because I've been here for almost 2 years and I've not finished half of what I brought. And how I preserved it was to put inside the freezer. Nothing ever goes bad in the freezer. I brought thyme, I brought curry, I brought ginger and garlic powder. You can get all those here, but just a little of everything here and there. There's also fresh ginger and garlic here. You don't have to bring all those ones. Vegetable oil, no, don't bring. Palm oil, yes, if they allow you to bring. So I was able to bring in palm oil, but it was frozen. They eventually saw it at the airport, but we found our way through, and it did not defrost till we got here. We made sure we wrapped it very well. Every other palm oil, I sent it through Chicago. Now I've sent like 25 liters twice. So why not just send it and let it come? Just buy all those things that are non-perishable. And beans as well. I brought in beans, but not so much. I brought just what would last me. The others I sent it through Chicago, and it didn't get spoiled. And the new thing the Chicago also does now is that you have to put your beans in a keg and make sure it is airtight, which is also very good. You put in pepper so that it doesn't start having wavel. Fantastic. I did that recently as well. ground pepper, Cameroon pepper, pepper soup spice. Bring it because the hot weather of Canada. I mean the cold weather of Canada. You need it. Pepper soup spice. Bring your pepper soup spice. Bring your soya spice. You will actually need all those things. All your spices. Name it. Just bring everything. Bring everything. Make sure that you put them airtight. Send them to Chicago. Send everything you literally need, right? If you want to bring this, you must have been seeing a lot of content creators talking about waste of time bringing dried panla. I think it's true, but you can actually bring the fresh one. So alternatively, if you want to send things like pap, maybe your children still rely on pap, you can send it through frozen cargo, but try to make sure it's when you've got in your apartment. Your family members can source it and send it through frozen cargo. I think that one arrives within 5 days, and you can send your that panla that you like. You can send. You can also bring some of it. Make sure it is well dried, not too dry, but like the right moisture content is still in it, and just send it and just bring it along. I also brought, but they said it's illegal, and if they catch you, I what I did was I made sure I wrapped everything in newspapers and packed it nicely. And I named it cow skin. A friend of mine told me how to do that. So I don't know if it works for you, but just be careful. I brought it in, and I've also had a couple of people bring it in. Just be careful. I didn't say so, you know. There's also a company that actually brings it to Canada, but it's very expensive. I'd rather just, carry it, have someone bring all your skincare products, all your skincare products, bring them till you start finding your way on getting, oh, this one works for me, this one works for me, right? Um, Medications. Hmm. I'm grateful I actually did this. I have a pharmacy friend, my friend that we arrived together, very fantastic madam. She's a pharmacist, so I just told her, okay, everything we need for traveling. She bought a bit of everything. So for medications, bring pain relievers, bring flu medications, loratadine, Procode, Actifed, stress relieving medications that you might need. Um, Vitamin D's or multivitamins that you might need, vitamin C. Right, you can actually get multivitamins here, but honestly, if you go out and you want to buy it, if you start converting them, you might be thinking that why did I bring it? You might just bring, I'm just saying, bring a bit of all these things. But there's all this pro code, bring a lot of it. Activate, bring a lot of it. Because apart from helping with code, sometimes you just have sore throat. It can just help you with it. I am grateful I brought lots of pro code, and I've even ordered for a lot more after I came, which I had my friend that brought my friend that were going to Nigeria that brought it for me. Flagyl, antibiotics. You cannot roll this out. Anti-malaria, you need that at least for the first 6 months. So make sure you bring anti-malaria, antibiotics, flagyl. For your kids, antibiotics, anti-malaria, loratadine. These ones are even compulsory. Like bring like five of each. Ibuprofen, paracetamol, flagyl, and multivitamins. Especially if you have a child that's under 1 year. Yeah, they don't give them drug at that age. And like my friend was saying, our child is not eating, she wish can give her some multivitamin and all that. It is very, very important. And deworming drugs. These things are not sold over the counter here. So you might want to save yourself some stress by making sure that everything is actually available to you. Now, if you have children that still wears diapers, bring some. You might not necessarily have to, put that in sea cargo because there are pretty good ones here. But the ones you use for like the first week or first 2 weeks, make sure to bring them in your logins, right? Just have them there. For this is for couples. This is for couples. Bring your birth control pills and your protection. Do you understand what I mean? So let me say something funny. My friend said when her husband was going to buy, you know, um, condom when they arrived, and he saw the price. He was like, this is too expensive now for how many? So you might want to just buy it along and bring it if this is how things work for you here. Because honestly, pregnancy is not the first thing I advise anybody to have when they arrive here. It's a lot settling down and getting pregnant. Your hormones will now be all over the place, and you're now thinking, "Who sent me? You're depressed. You're angry at everybody." But God's plan to share, but we can also plan and use our common sense that the Lord has given us. So yes. Likewise, Pictures. I brought in my family pictures, my wedding pictures. You can make sure you wrap them nicely and send it through sea cargo. If you have pots, spoons, not so much, right? Not so heavy, but if you have pots that you cherish, send them through Chicago. You can put one pot and one fry pan in your load, which you might use in the first or two pots and one fry pan, which you might use while you before your whole set come. But if you have very fantastic pot, because very fantastic pot here is really expensive. Although I got most of them free, and I got some on marketplace as well, but getting pot here is good, very good pot here is really, really expensive, right? It's a good investment because it will last you, but you might not want to start spending so much on that, as a new immigrant. Now, this socket, I'll attach a picture. There's this socket that you can use like a converter for everything, because Canada's socket type is this two mouth type, right? So there's this converter that you can bring along. I think I brought like 4 or 5 of it, because my laptop, my husband's laptop, and a few other things that we have are the Nigerian type. So that helped us. Everywhere I go, I carry it along. Even in my class, then when I go to class, I take that my extension and that my converter, the extension converter along, and it's very, very useful even till date. So you can bring it along. For women, you can bring your maybe straightener and rollers. You don't want to start buying all those things when you arrive, right? Just bring everything, put them in your sea cargo. It is very cheap to send sea cargo, right? Just put them right there in your sea cargo and ensure that they're safe. If you have any decorations that you have in your home that you don't want to let go of, send it through sea cargo. Everything can actually go on sea cargo, believe me. Blenders and the likes, you actually don't need them because you get them very affordable here on marketplace. You don't need all those electronics. You don't need to bring your TV and stuff like that. So although some people do, I had some couple or family, they ship their chairs and everything. Another thing that I tell people to bring is curtains. um I know the dimension of Nigeria window, but I don't know for Canada. But regardless, good curtains are very scarce to see here. Bring curtains, bring bed sheets, at least one each. Fantastic ones are also, I don't know why, but right, but maybe it's their recycling, whatever. Their stuffs are not my own take, right? And not as thick as what we get in Nigeria. So bring bedspreads. You can send your duvets, the duvets you make, your comforters. You can those ones we used to buy, right? You can send it through sea cargo if you still want your home or your room in that light, right? Send everything through sea cargo. Bring good curtains. Nigerians usually have, make it longer, so I'm sure it will fit any size in Canada. Bring good curtains. Little toiletries should be put in your carry-ons, like a little tissue, your maybe your cotton wool or something. But facial cleansers are not allowed. Liquids, no liquids at all in your carry-on. So those are the key things to bring along. And of course, your driver's extracts, make sure to get it and bring it along. If you've been driving for some time in Nigeria before or your home country, make sure you bring your driver's extracts. That's going to ease your transitioning from your home country license to Canada approved license. So I think I've been able to touch all everything. Yeah, I've talked about, bring your shoes that you like to Canada. I think I'll be able to touch base on everything and avoid. Yes, another thing mistake I made when I was traveling was I was going to buy some bags that were actually they had weight already. Like a bag's already weighing like 5 kg. It makes no sense. Buy lightweight bags that some are even zero, like 0.00 kg. I mean, or max 1 kg. There's no fancy in anything. Once you bring it here, nobody sees it again. Another thing I'm seeing people do now is there are people that sew these bags, like they make it really big and it is zero weight. And that's what people use to bring in their bag. And it is really, they're strong and really sturdy. So don't waste your money buying fancy bags. Nobody sees it after now. You can have a very nice carry-on that can fit your 8 kg, but the other ones that's going to be checked in on, but really nobody cares. Nobody cares how fancy your bag because it will be wrapped and just thrown somewhere and kept. So focus on lightweight baggages to carry your load. and Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, that'll be all for today. Oh my god, my husband is disrupting my video. All right, thank you so much for watching today. If you feel there's any other thing I'm missing out, kindly drop in the comment section. We all learn from one another, right? But these are the basic things that I actually brought along with me that has helped me with my settling in Canada. And I wish you all the best in your coming to Canada. Cheers.